Alright, welcome back. We are still in game 2, but now we are on part 6, going to beginning the start of round 5. Now you can tell we're about to start round 5 because we have all four of the blue Funfair city cards in the discard pile. And this public notice card is now going to be placed this way up on top of the blueprint deck. The only way to access blueprints now will be special abilities or event cards. And of course, now we're going to be getting into some really interesting stuff. This game is going to be a bit longer than the previous game because we have 8 rounds rather than 6. There's going to be 2 extra bad cards here in the deck, which is going to make things a little bit more dangerous. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the strategies of player 2 and player 1 play out over the next half of the game. Alright, player 1 has the starting player marker again. So he's in charge of moving the marker to the event draw phase, and I just recently reshuffled those event cards. That's why it's a fresh deck right here. Alright, next comes the city event cards. Here comes the bad stuff. This is from the pirate deck. Annual insurance. For each attraction in your park, you must pay coins equal to half its icon size, rounded down, or close the attraction. So, in the case of our starting player here, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attractions. He must pay coins equal to half its icon size. So it has 1 icon. It says rounded down. So half of 1 is half. Rounded down is 0. So he wouldn't have to pay any coins for that attraction, or that attraction, or that attraction. But these two each have 2 icons each. Half of 2 is 1. So you would have to pay 1 coin for each of these attractions, or close the ones that he can't pay for. Well, 2 coins, 1 for each attraction, is nothing. So player 1 is definitely willing to go ahead and do that. And over here, it's a slightly different story. You can see that this player has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 icons, rounded down. Half of 5 would be 2. And this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well, so it would be 2 and 2. 2 coins for each one. That would be 4 in total. Well, he only has 8 coins. So I guess the question for this in this player's mind is, would it be better to just close an attraction this round, or pay the money? Well, unfortunately, he doesn't have an ability to make use of something like this, like by building upgrades for half or anything like that. And let's see what he wants to buy this round. He's definitely going to want to be building that sideshow, so he's going to need money, but he doesn't have enough money anyway. So I guess he might as well... He doesn't have enough money to really build things this round. I guess he might as well just pay the money. Nah. Yeah, because he's going to need the money next round in order to continue to stay in business. So I guess that's painful for him. Alright, so having the really big attractions kind of is hurting player 2 right now. But we've dealt with them. So now the starting player moves the marker to event play. And it's this player's turn. He has 1 event card from the previous round that he drew, and this card that he drew this round. And let's see what he has. He can do something bad to his opponent by taking a guest services upgrade from him and demolishing it. Let's see if player 2 has any guest services upgrades. He does indeed. He has restroom. He could demolish that. Or he could search the park discard pile and choose a card, reveal it, and put it in his hand. Now, there's nothing in the park discard pile. Let's see if there was anything that he would want. I mean, we already have met all the requirements for this blueprint. So all he would be really looking for is specific right elements. But they're going to be coming up in the market. And as they arrive in the market, he has enough money to just pay for them outright. So he's probably going to want to go ahead and just do something bad to his opponent. But his opponent might be able to block that, so he's going to wait to play that until after his opponent's gone. He's going to go ahead and just do this right now, which means that you can gain an extra coin for each guest visiting a park. That's going to be a lot of extra coin. He's going to pin that right here. And now it's back to this player to play something. This player, of course, could choose to either hurt his opponent by choosing an attraction and closing all types of that attraction, but this player only has 1 of each type of attraction. So it'd be a matter of just closing 1 attraction. Or this player, player 2, could reveal the top card of the park deck and do the same thing that we saw player 1 do before, where he reveals up to 5 cards 1 at a time and chooses to keep 1. Now, this player right here is definitely hoping for a certain type of card, right? He definitely is going to be looking for... Well, what is he looking for? Let's find out. In his blueprints, we know that he's still looking for He already has a food outlet. He already has a thrill ride. We know that he's already looking for quality upgrades. He's going to need a quality upgrade for the sideshow, but he has that in his hand. He's going to need more feature upgrades. That's what he needs. And here he's going to need, so he just needs feature upgrades at this point. There's a flagpole in the market, but I guess he might as well do that, right? So he's going to go, or you could close. Well, that's a tough choice here. I guess he's going to go ahead and do the bad thing because he feels like that's more valuable to him than this. So he's going to go ahead and announce that thrill rides are closing this round. Oh wait, no, it says close all attractions of that type in all parks. So that's a different thing in all parks. Because he doesn't want to close his thrill ride or his leisure ride or his food outlet. So he's going to have to close either a theater or a sideshow. And I guess he'll announce that sideshows are closing. So that means that over here, player 1, he's going to have to go ahead and just close his sideshow like that. Alright, well now, this really provides some motivation for player 1 to go ahead and do something bad to his opponent. He's going to go ahead and choose an upgrade, guest services upgrade, and demolish it. He's going to go ahead and take that restroom card right out from underneath that super attraction and just put it in the discard pile right over here. So now this has been knocked down an icon, and well, it didn't lose any stars because the restroom didn't have any stars to begin with, but it did hurt his blueprint because he needed a guest services upgrade on that attraction. Alright, but secretly, this player is kind of happy about that because to meet this lower requirement on his blueprint, he needs attractions that have a certain number of stars and that all have the same number of icons. So he's now got just 4 icons on that attraction, which is what he needs to meet his blueprint. Although, of course, it isn't good to lose something. Alright, back to this player. He doesn't have any more event cards to play, so he passes. Back to this player. He can play that special event step action on his super attraction. He can choose an upgrade from the market, add it to his hand, and then build any number of upgrades onto attractions, already one attraction in his park. Now, he only has 4 coin, so the question is, what could he build? Well, he could build this, because he just lost the guest services upgrade. So I guess he's going to go ahead and do that. He's going to go ahead and take this right here, because he needs it. He's going to add it to his hand. Of course, refresh the market pile, so that there's a new card there. And then he's going to go ahead and pay those 4 coin right now. And he's going to go ahead and build that guest services upgrade. Now, remember, it has to go on a thrill ride. Yeah, so it's going to have to go back onto this super attraction, which means he's going to have to eventually get rid of one of those feature upgrades in order to meet his 4 icon requirement for that particular blueprint. So that's going to be a little bit tricky. He's going to have to start doing some demolishing, which is going to be painful. Maybe this strategy of just focusing on attraction size and blueprints can be a little bit tricky sometimes, we're finding out. Alright, this player passes because he has nothing more to play. That player has no more events to play, and so both have passed, and it's time for Park Step 1. Park Step 1 means that our starting player gets to go first. And of course, he's going to take a moment to refresh himself on the blueprints. Let's remind ourselves that he's already met all the requirements for both the top and bottom section of this blueprint by having one of each type of attraction in his park. However, he's going to need some very specific elements to add to his thrill ride and a flagpole to top it all off. It'd be a good idea to grab a flagpole right now while there's one in the market, but he can't build it yet. So his money could be better spent elsewhere, but he's going to go ahead and do it. It probably would be a good idea to just snag, does he want the yellow or the red one? Probably the red one. He's just going to go ahead and add that to his hand, save it for later. So he's going to go ahead and just put it over here, and then refresh the deck. That was his action. Now, this player over here is out of money, unless he wants to take out more loans, but he really can't afford it right now, especially considering that his opponent hasn't taken out any loans. So he's going to need to either draw some cards, such as event cards, or get some extra money. Well, looking ahead, he's going to need to go ahead and get rid of one of these icons so that he meets his 4 icon limit for his blueprint here. And he's going to need to delete a card from here. But he knows that there are some event cards, that, especially from the robot deck, that let him rearrange upgrades on his attractions. So he's going to go ahead and just dive into these event cards and hopes he finds the right one. And there it is, reconfigure. You can choose up to 3 upgrades in your park and move each of them to any number of suitable attractions in your park. So without having to demolish those extra attractions, he can just move them to other attractions in his park. He's going to go ahead and discard that other one, which is useful, but not as useful as this right now for his purposes, and he's going to keep that event card for next round. Now it's time for Park Step 2, and once again, it is Player 1's turn to go. Now he notices that something new has shown up in the marketplace. Unfortunately, it's another splashdown element, which he already has on his attraction right there. He's really looking for a corkscrew element or a sea serpent roll. But of course, he also wants to maximize money right now. He can't build any more attractions, but he certainly could go ahead and do something else. So he's looking to see if he can add any upgrades to anything that would give him money. This would only cost him about 7, but it would definitely enhance his existing food outlet. So he's going to go ahead and buy that. He spends 12, but he gets 5 back, so that's really only a net cost of 7 coin. Refill the market, and he's going to go ahead and slide that right underneath his fast food restaurant, so that way his fast food restaurant now has a few more icons as well. And there we have it, a 2-icon fast food restaurant. Alright, now heading back over here to player 2, what's he going to do? Well, he's still at a loss for money, so he's going to go ahead and do more event cards. You can see a pattern. When you're kind of at a loss to do, it's probably best to just do event cards. That's one important strategy. Here, lets him pick some more blueprint cards. He's having a tough time meeting his blueprints that he already has, but he could discard a blueprint he owns with that card. That could be useful. And he could choose to dismiss player 1's staff members one by one. Over here, he can build an upgrade for free. Now, that's powerful because the other one lets him rearrange upgrades he already has. This one lets him build an upgrade for free. And he's definitely going to need to be building some upgrades. So he's going to have to think about that for sure. Which one would be more valuable? Probably this one, because it gives him the opportunity to mess with his blueprints or to dismiss his enemy's staff member. So he's probably going to go ahead and do that right now. All right. Now it is, of course, Park Step 3, which means it's back to our good friend over here. Now he, of course, just built something. He still has plenty of money right now, but he's not seeing what he needs in the market. So he's going to go ahead and just also do some event cards, so he at least has something to play next round. Take an extra action, gain 5 coin, close an attraction, discard. He's going to go ahead and do this because it gives him a choice between money or closing his enemy's attraction. Sorry, not enemy, competitor, right? So he's going to go ahead and add that to his hand. Got to make sure that the discard pile doesn't get too messed up. And it is finally this player's turn one more time to do something. No question what he's going to do. He's diving right in for this right here. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and have the option of getting more stars or demolishing a feature upgrade in somebody else's park. Over here, he could send all his competitor staff members on vacation, or he could choose to draw more cards. He's going to go ahead and do this one because his opponent, player 1, has a lot of people on working right now. And sending them all on vacation wouldn't be the same as firing them, but it certainly would be powerful to make their abilities not work next round. So he's going to go ahead and keep that card, discard the other one. And since neither of the players has a available pinned action card that lets them do Park Step 4, they skip right past it over to the guest step. Alright, player 1 needs to go ahead and add up his stars. Let's start from the left and work our way to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, skip that one, 10, 11, 12. We have to skip that one because it's closed. 12 stars in total, 15 is our maximum, so we're fine. So we're going to go ahead and take 10, 11, 12. So 12 coin. But that's just the stars. Then we have to go ahead and give this guy another 5 coin. And then this person lets you get twice the extra coins equal to twice a star value of an open ride attraction. Thankfully, this still ride is still open. So that's another 10, because 5 times 2 is 10. But unfortunately, this attraction is closed, which it would normally give you an extra coin. So this player 1 doesn't get an extra coin. Player 2, however, has a lot of stars going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which is just under the guest capacity, so almost maxed out there. That's going to be 5, 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14 coins. Not bad at all. Now, of course, player 1 points out that he has a pinned event card over here, which lets him get 1 extra coin for each guest visiting his park. Now remember, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guests visiting his park. So he gets an extra 12 this round, just as a result of that pinned event card. Alright, definitely cleanup phase right now. And we start by discarding all of the pinned event cards. Of course, there's only one. That was player 1's pinned event card. Then, thankfully, player 1's closed attraction can finally reopen. And that leads directly into clearing and refilling the market. Alright, nice. Next, of course, we need to make sure that each player has no more than 5 cards in their hand. Player 2 is looking a little bit suspect here. He has 3 event cards, and thankfully only 2 park cards, so that's 5, he's safe. And then over here, this player, he only has 1 event card and 1 park card. Remember, blueprint cards and showcase cards do not count toward the player's hand limit, so he's fine as well. Last but not least, we need to make sure that the starting player marker moves back. Remember, it always is clockwise around the board, but since we're only playing with 2 players, it'll alternate. Player 2 will be the starting player for the next round, and player 2 takes the marker, puts it at the beginning of the ticket track, and that concludes part 6, round 5 of game 2 of our Unfair Learning series. In part 7, we will be beginning round 6.